Hello, I am your host, Shy, and welcome to the All Inclusive Podcast. Thank you. So, today we're going to talk about seasonal depression. It's actually a two-fold show. We're going to talk about seasonal depression, but then we're also going to talk about creating family traditions. I know the holidays are coming up. We just had Thanksgiving, Christmas is happening. You have New Year's. It's a lot of babies that was born. You celebrating birthdays. My birthday is coming up, and so we're going to talk about creating family traditions, especially dealing with people who no longer have vital parts and essential parts that they grew up with. So today I have a guest, a very special guest. My guest is my cousin, Key.
Hey.
Hey. Hi, Key.
Hey, babe.
So my cousin Key, she could introduce herself and she could tell me what her temperature check is. Are you high? Are you low? Are you cold, hot, warm? How you feeling?
I'm probably like lukewarm.
You lukewarm? Okay.
I'm lukewarm. I've been going through some stuff, with work.
Okay.
Being a new mom, trying to get used to that still.
Yeah.
Even though he's 17 months old.
Okay. Yes.
Papi
Chulo.
Papi Chu, my baby, my little Cuban baby. I love him so much.
Yes.
He makes me so happy, but yeah, I'm lukewarm.
You're lukewarm?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm lukewarm.
Okay.
Warm me up, cousin. Warm me up.
Yes, I am. And that drink is going to warm you up,
It
too.
sure is.
Yes.
Give me some sweet red over here. I feel good.
Yes. So, my temperature check is, I am, surprisingly, I'm a little lukewarm today. I have not been feeling my best today, physically. But
Me either.
you gotta push on it. You gotta push through. You gotta push through. And I'm always hot during recording days, and I always prepare myself for recording days. Like, phone goes on do not disturb. I don't accept certain things, certain people to just enter into my space.
Well, girl, see, it was just a regular smuggler day for me. I went to therapy. I took care of my kid because he had the stomach virus. I think I washed some clothes, cooked breakfast. It's just been a regular smuggler day for me, but I was very excited to do this today.
Yes.
I was so happy.
Yes. So we're going to start off by talking about seasonal depression.
Okay.
Because that is huge right now, especially because daylight savings time happened and it gets darker earlier. And it's almost like our body is trained to go to sleep when it's dark.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
And we don't know sometimes that we are going through our day and we're like, I might not feel depressed, but your mind may be feeling kind of like
flooded with thoughts.
Exactly.
Thoughts of all of the stuff that you're dealing with, all of the stuff that you're going through. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And you can jump in like you jumping in. So I know you are a new mom and you hit that, like, adjusting to becoming a new mom, even though you have a 17-month-old. And postpartum is still real. I mean, you're still within that postpartum window.
You know what's crazy? My postpartum did not hit me until, I want to say, maybe when my son was like a year old.
Yeah.
And it was like, what am I doing? Like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
Like, I found myself sad all the time.
Wow.
Crying all the time. See, like, I work for MTA. Shout out to MTA. Shout out to my employer. And there would be times where I would be on the bus, like, behind the wheel with my sunglasses on. Crying.
Tears.
Yeah, tears.
Yeah.
And I didn't know where it was coming from. And then somebody was like, well, maybe you're going through postpartum. I'm like, well, maybe. No, like, I'm a year in.
Yeah,
like, what's going on? Like,
so postpartum is
whenever.
from birth to up to 5 years old.
Really?
Yes. Up to 5 years old.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Because you got to think about it. You had your old life. right?
Yes.
And sometimes we grieve our old life. And I know we might be jumping
I know I
around,
did.
but mental health is so important, especially in this season. So we're gonna definitely talk about the different aspects of mental health that's happening right now. Like I said, one being the postpartum for you, the other being seasonal depression, the other being for you, you lost your mom.
I lost my mother in March of 2021.
Whew.
March 4th of 2021. Yep, I
Yeah.
lost my mama.
Yeah. So
Mm.
whew, and we're cousins, not by blood,
But our
but
moms were best friends.
yes,
Our moms were best friends
best
for
friends.
years.
I mean, before there was a us,
They
it was
were
a
friends.
them.
Yes.
It was a them, and they got
Janetta,
pregnant.
Wendy, and Nikki.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, and they got pregnant all around the same
All
time.
around the same time. Because me and Devontae are about the same age. Who's older, me or Devontae? When's his birthday?
His is April.
I'm older.
Yeah. So everybody, and then everybody was getting pregnant around the same time. Like it was always a kids coming in the same year.
Doing
So
grown people things.
exactly. So I know that was a huge hit for you because the relationship with your mom, you have younger siblings.
Yes.
You're the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
And you have
and
siblings.
it weighed on me a lot.
Yeah.
It weighs on me a lot.
Yeah. So how do you get through right now with the holiday season happening, and dealing with the grief and everything?
You gave me the power to speak.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. We want you to speak.
So, honestly, holidays aren't that bad.
Okay.
Because my mother was a Jehovah's Witness.
Mm-hmm.
And even before she got baptized and things like that, she really was not big on holidays. My dad's side was. So I spent a lot of my holidays with them. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, even birthdays. So holidays they aren't that bad. Now Mother's Day is difficult. Mother's Day is difficult. Her birthday is difficult. The day that she died, again, March the 4th, that's difficult. And my son's birthday, his first birthday was difficult for me because she wasn't there to witness. She wasn't there to, witness it or anything like that.
And it's almost like she was reincarnated because you see so much of
my son in her.
Like so much of him, her and him.
Her of him.
Yeah.
Yep.
It definitely. I would see like baby pictures of him, and I'm like, wow.
He looks just like my mother.
Yeah.
It was funny because his dad, probably when he got to be about a couple of months old, he was like, he looks just like your mother. He looks just like your mom. And it's so crazy because I have a picture of my mother on my wall, and my son often points to that picture, and he goes, Mama. Like he knows who she is.
Yeah.
I don't know if she comes to him in his dreams. I don't know if you believe in that, but
no, I do. Absolutely. We talked about that.
Like he'll be asleep and he'll just start smiling and cracking up. And he'll wake up and go, Mama. He'll point right to her picture.
Wow.
I definitely feel like she came back in the form of him.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
She wanted me to have a baby so bad before she passed away. She told me and his dad, all right, now it's time for y'all to get to working on my grandbaby. And it was so crazy because literally about maybe 4 or 5 months after she passed away, I got pregnant.
Yeah.
She missed it.
Yeah.
She missed it. And I missed her.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a different experience when you have your mom there. So how... Now that you are a mom and you have to live this life without your mom, how is it raising your son? And what traditions or what morals do you have around the holidays or just day to day with him?
Well, it's important for my son to know that number one, it's important for him to know that we love him,
Mm-hmm.
and luckily, I have a huge village. Now, my aunt, I'm very close to her. This is my father's sister.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very close to her. So even though she could not take the place of my mom,
Mm-hmm.
you know, she definitely fills the void.
Mm-hmm.
And I have her to thank for because to be honest with you, girl, I, look,
Come
listen,
on,
look,
speak that
listen,
truth.
look, listen. If it wasn't for my aunt,
Mm.
I don't know what the hell I would be doing for Christmas.
Mm.
What we would have did last year for Christmas, because my mother did not celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
It was not. It just wasn't important in our household. You
Right,
know, I
right, right.
didn't. I it just was another day to us or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But going forward, I want my son to know how important it is for our family to come together. I want him to know that he's loved. I want him to know that he's supported. I want him to know that he has a village. I want him to know that he was needed and wanted, and he brings so much joy to us. So as far as traditions is concerned, um going forward, girl, we're gonna be getting together for every holiday,
I know that's right.
every Thanksgiving, every Christmas,
Yes.
every Easter. I'm gonna be walking around with a bunny suit on. You know,
Yeah.
every birthday, even Mother's Day. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We're gonna do something in remembrance of my mom. Even her birthday,
Mm-hmm.
the day that she passed away. He needs to know because my family, they Jehovah's Witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
He-
I know. I grew up around, so yes.
They don't believe in celebrating shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They don't celebrate any of that. We gonna celebrate.
Right.
We gonna celebrate. We gonna make it do what it do. Cause
And it's for me, it's so different. My story is so different because my mom grew up Christian, um, and when my mom grew up and taught me, um, we celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Thanksgiving for our being grateful for our life and all that. We celebrate, Resurrection Sunday, Easter,
yes, yeah.
we celebrate all of those things. And so cooking was big. Now
Yes.
for me, you know how people say when grandma dies, the family tradition dies.
They yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
my great grandmother, Rebecca McMillan, she was big on bringing our families together. And it didn't matter who didn't like who was arguing with who. Like after church, because we would go to church,
We
it
never
would be
did that.
what we would go
Never
to
did.
church, and it would be generations of her grandkids, her great grandkids, her children,
Mm-hmm.
and we would go back to the house, and it would be Sunday dinner, or it would be Thanksgiving dinner, or it would be Christmas dinner, and everybody was passing gifts, or we would stand in a circle and we would say what we were thankful for, and we would pray and stuff like that. And I'm grateful for that foundation, but it's crazy because I find myself swaying away from that foundation that I had.
But why do you think that is?
Life be lifing.
Life be life and
Life be lifing.
It does.
And the innocence that I had as a child, as you start to grow up and you start to see the fuck shit that people do, and the fuck
Speak on it.
and the fuck characters that people are,
Mm-hmm.
you just don't want to
We don't
be
see it as
around.
children.
We don't
We
see
don't
it.
see it as kids. We don't see it as kids, but it's like when you get older, you start to see
It's
the bullshit.
you start to see it, and for me, it's like I feel uncomfortable around certain people in my family.
Oh, I do too. But guess
Not
what? I don't fuck
not because they are bad people sometimes, but because of our foundation as a family and because of my lifestyle.
I feel
So
like You know what's? I feel like a black sheep in my family.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
do. I feel like my mother was the black sheep of our family.
mhm,
I feel like people judged my mother,
mhm,
so they treated her children differently
mhm.
than they treated the other children, my cousins that I had to grow
Wow.
up with. I felt like, all right, it was X, Y, and Z over here, and then, all
Mhm.
right, that's Wendy's kids.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't until I got older that I was able to start to build or attempt to build relationships with some of these people
Mhm.
and start weeding folks out. So I got a few cousins that I really fuck with, and then I got some cousins that I don't fuck with at all. Like they can post something on Facebook, I won't even fucking like the picture or comment on that bitch. Cause I got
Trying to slide over
the
the
wine.
wine so that she can have another cup of wine while I drink my H2 and O.
Okay, another taste.
So,
Oh, I'm pot Brit.
um, so I, man, that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother
A whole
conversation
nother one.
because for me, I am starting to build my circle and my family.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago we were talking about relationships, and my guest was saying, you have relatives and then you have family.
You have a
Okay?
yes.
And I was like, absolutely. So it's like, I love my family. I do.
Mm-hmm.
And some people going to probably see this and be like, I wonder if they think that that's me. That. But if it's you, you would know, because I wouldn't fuck with you at all.
Well, I'm pretty sure the ones that they know. They know.
Um,
Ain't met my son. I don't bother to take him around. I don't go around no
yeah,
nothing.
because like I was saying, when you're a child, you have this innocence, so you don't really see what is the reality of adulthood.
Right.
And then you start to grow and mature, and then you become the adult. You're the adult now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, kind of like, I'm going to go back to like the traditions. I am in the process of building a family,
Okay.
no matter how that looks, whether it's me single, building my family,
Mm-hmm.
as far as like having a child.
You want to have a baby?
Yeah, so remember, I was pregnant previously.
Yes.
I miscarried.
Yes.
And so I'm at a point now where I want to try again.
Okay.
And
I'm here for it.
yeah,
I'm here
so
for it.
for me, I think about stuff like, would I want my child around this person or that spirit or that energy or whatever it is? Would I want my child to be around love and have a village? Because you just talked about that.
But-
you have a village, but your village is a healthy village.
But that is why it is so important to me who I allow to be around me. Because my thing is, if you don't respect me, if you don't fuck with me, if you don't call and check on me to see how I'm doing, then if you don't have no good intentions for me, you damn sure ain't got them for my child.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be around my baby. So yes, everybody that is a part of my village now is people that I know love and support me and love and support my baby.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And because of that, I've started to sway away from those traditions that we had when I grew up. Now, like Thanksgiving.
How was your Thanksgiving anyway, baby? How was it?
So my Thanksgiving was actually spent with my residents. I work in the medical field.
Grinding.
Yeah. I work in the medical field, specifically with the elderly population.
Yep.
And I work in an assisted living. And when you get to a certain age, certain people drop their family members off and they don't want to interact with them, on holidays and stuff like that. I feel like my light is shine more there than it is to be around people that is not positive, that won't even look at the podcast, that won't even repost a video or
And don't
something like
support
that,
you.
and don't support,
That just
or
don't support you.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like my light is shine mostly there. My boss, she actually catered. Last year we was up 3 days cooking. You
3
know how
days.
you know how we do in our community.
3
We
days.
we one day is for prep. Well, it's the prep of the prep, and then it's the
All right,
prep.
if Thanksgiving is Thursday, what are you prepping Sunday? Cause what you prepping? What are you prepping? Cause
No,
I promise you, I ain't eating nothing. What you prepping?
no, it's the prep of the prep, then the prep, and then the then
the actual cooking.
then the actual cooking. You know, Thanksgiving is like the whole week for real
You ain't
in our
never lied.
community.
You ain't
So,
never lied.
you know, we didn't have to do that this year. My boss actually catered. It was
nice.
it was a few things that I did cook. Just cause I wanted to.
Yeah.
And I cook a lot anyway. Cooking is like therapy for me. So
Me too.
yeah, so it's like
Me too. It's so therapeutic.
it is. So I spent time with them. My mom did come and I saw my mom.
Shout out to my Aunt Tanetta.
Yeah. Shout out to my mama.
Shout out to you, baby.
So was able to see my mom. But besides that, I just was like, my light is shine there. And I don't want to be invited places where I feel like I'm an afterthought, number one,
Yeah.
or that I'm not gonna be welcome.
Right.
It's some fuck shit going on. So I prefer to stay in areas where I could continue to be soft. Because let me talk about this soft life. And I know
you in your soft life. Me too.
Listen, people be like, I'm in my soft life. And it's like, being in your soft life doesn't mean that there isn't hard times. Being in your soft life means that you are accepting of those hard times, but you push forward through those hard times.
Yes.
And you don't allow those hard times to rattle your peace.
Yes.
And that's exactly where I'm at in life.
Yes.
Like, it's people be like, Key, you always good. Key, you always da-da-da-da. It's like, I have issues. I have things that don't go my way. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, am I going to allow it to rattle my peace?
But the key to that is knowing that you truly cannot control everything.
Yes.
You can't.
Yeah.
You cannot.
Yeah.
And you have to pray.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have faith in God.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're going to be out here looking crazy.
You're going to be out here looking crazy. And I was talking to an associate of mine, and she called me and she was like, I ain't heard from you. And I was just like, so I need you to understand that my life, I stand on faith. And when I feel like my faith is being rattled, I get quiet. Because nobody in this world can give me what I need but God. Whatever God you believe in, I respect all of that. Yeah. I respect it all.
Respect it all.
Right, I respect it all. But whatever your God is, that's my faith comes from my God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I get quiet. I get quiet. I don't have much to say because I deal with depression on a daily. I just am high functioning with it. And around this time, it's even harder because I've lost so many people and I lost them close. Like 2020 was hell for me. From 2020 to 2021, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was at funerals and the cap was when your mom passed, and I was so numb at that point. I didn't even have an emotion.
You know what?
until I got to the service.
I didn't have any emotion either.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any emotion either after my mom died. I remember getting a text and it was like, she's gone. And I woke my son's dad up. And I was like, come on, I gotta go. And I remember my sister calling me Monica.
Mm-hmm.
And she was screaming in the phone. She was like, where are you? I need you. I need you. I need you. And I just remember getting there to console everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then the day of her service came, and my sister could not. I went in there, and I was terrified. I was so scared to see my mother like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until Monica got there and she was standing at the door. She wouldn't even walk over to her casket. And she just was screaming, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." And I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Time to put my cape on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I gotta go over there. I gotta do this. I had to walk her over there. But then to see my younger siblings, like they were so out of it.
Mm-hmm.
They were so out of it. That was
Yeah.
such a hard day.
Yeah.
Nobody prepares you for losing a parent.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to compare.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'm doing it because I don't have a really good relationship with my father. Like, I know him. He's alive and well. I know where he is.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't raised with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always had my mother. To see your mother
Mm-hmm.
that way, nobody prepares you.
Nobody prepares you.
At
Whew,
all.
I,
At
Phew.
all. To see my mother laying in a fucking casket.
Yeah. Yeah. I I had that similar experience.
My mother.
Yeah. In 2019 when my stepdad passed.
Wayne.
And you know how close your mom and
Wayne was like,
I mean literally
can y'all see my hands?
I mean literally. And so yeah. That's something I don't even talk about.
It's the word. It's different when you expect it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when my great grandmother passed away, we expected that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When my grandfather passed away, we expected that.
Mm-hmm.
But when Wayne died, we didn't expect that. When my mother died, we
didn't expect it.
that.
We didn't expect it. It was literally like I felt his body cold. And I felt his body cold, and my mom was like, the window was open and it was a cold night. So his body was he had just passed about a half an hour before. So it wasn't completely cold. It was just like his back, like a part of his back was cold. And I felt it. But the rest of him was warm. Because, I mean, it didn't start the process didn't start to happen yet. And so when that happened, I think about now with family traditions, and I think about all the people that I've lost that will not be able to see my kid. You know what I'm saying?
But
and
that's why it's important. And I'm glad we're talking about this again because that's why it's important for us to create our own family traditions. Like, I can only remember my mother putting up a Christmas tree twice.
Mm-hmm.
My son is going to have a Christmas tree
every year. Yeah.
With the little train going around.
Mm-hmm.
With the little ornaments with his name on it. The little star. We're going to decorate it together. My baby's going to have that every year.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is my opportunity. Me having him is my opportunity. It's my chance to give him everything that I did not have.
Plus more. Plus more because you are a more mature woman. You are a better woman.
Son, I am.
Yeah. You're a calmer woman. I could definitely say that.
I'm more calmer.
Mm-hmm.
I am much more calm. I think I'm much more in tune with my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm much more in tune with the feelings of my family
Mm-hmm.
and my friends and people who love me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to shout out my best friend who's here today,
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany. I learned a lot about my through my friendship with her in her absence in my life, because we went through a period where we did not speak.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until we talked again that I was able to realize where I went wrong. And where I went wrong with her, I had went wrong in so many of my
Ooh.
other relationships.
Sheesh.
And these were, I'm talking about intimate relationships that I had had with past boyfriends, my
Mm.
ex fiance, even with my son's dad, even though he did some crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It wasn't until I had that conversation with her that I was able to sit back and be like, okay, Kiana. Because I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I was a selfish, self absorbed bitch.
Mm.
I truly was.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
And then you can finish. I was so happy when I called you this week and I was like, and you were like, I got therapy on Friday. Is it going to interrupt with that? Because I don't think people really understand, unless you are in the process, in the healing journey, and therapy is a part of that, how important therapy is. It's almost like you are able to just be in this safe, it should be that you're in this safe space where you can release, but you can also take accountability and you can actually look at the reflection of yourself.
And that's something else that's really important. Taking accountability for your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, cuz I ain't mean to cut you off.
So I was just happy when you said, yeah, because I got therapy.
Can I tell you something? It wasn't that kind of therapy, cousin. It was therapy because I got into an accident on that bus chair.
Oh,
It
okay.
was physical therapy.
It was physical therapy.
It was physical therapy.
Oh, okay. But I thought you was in therapy, like, but that's
No, but I do feel like I need to go talk to somebody,
mm-hmm.
because there are days where I get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like so often in the black community,
Yes.
we always
Talk
feel
about it.
like we can deal with our shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I don't need to talk to a therapist. Oh no, I don't need meds. Or I don't need this. Or I don't need that. And we need it.
Mm-hmm.
If you need it, people, go get it. I'm going to get me some, because my son deserves the best version of me.
Yes. Yes.
And I cannot be the best version of me and take care of him if I'm not getting the help that I need. He
Yeah.
deserves so much more than that.
Yeah. And that's where we talk about not just traditions as in holiday traditions, but just traditional stuff that we've been raised on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the older generation is take it to Jesus.
Yep.
Take it to Jesus.
Pray about it.
Pray about
Go
it.
to church.
Yeah.
Read the Bible.
And it's like, okay, so I'm going to take it to Jesus. I am. But while I'm taking it to Jesus, I'm going to go to this therapist.
This therapist, I'm going to sit up on this couch real quick.
Right. And I'm going to get the help that I need.
Mhm.
And if I need a medication, just to even myself out.
Even it out a little
Okay? Because chemical imbalances is real.
It's real.
It's definitely real.
Definitely real, cuz.
And that's something that I struggled with when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that I don't have to take any type of medications, but I definitely go to therapy, and I definitely
I'm very proud of you about
listen. For a long time, it was herbs. Now I don't even smoke
that.
weed.
I can't even smoke. My job pissed me. I'm done.
Now it's nothing. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I am in a good headspace. And like I said, it's not that you don't have bad times or bad moments,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times you'll take a moment and you'll make it a whole day
Yeah.
when it was just a moment.
Yeah.
So it was just about my maturity as a woman, my maturity as, who I'm growing into and who I actually am now. I can't look at what I was a year ago because what I was a year ago is not the person that I am now.
It's not.
It's not, and I feel it. And that's like my birthday is coming up and stuff like that. 12/27. Holla at your girl 34, and I do not look 34. Um,
Girl, I wish I could be 34 again.
you just 35,
I'll be 36
right?
in January. What you mean?
So I mean, I look at that and I'm like, I'm really maturing and I'm really growing. But I'm grateful for the traditions and for the foundation that I had because the person that I am now is a reflection of the foundation that I had.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reflection of the traditions that I had. I value love. I value respect. I value, you know, the elderly population. You know, you won't find me sitting there cussing in front of them and stuff like that. Like, I got respect for them. I
Okay.
value my mom. I value even my dad. I value my dad. I value family. I value all those things, even though I didn't say it. Like, it's some fuck shit that happens, but I value them. And that's why I am going to make sure that my child has a village, even if it doesn't look like what someone else would think
Even
it
if it's
should look
not
like.
a tradition, the
The
traditional. Yeah.
exactly the
Mm-hmm.
traditional village that you would think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even now, like my village as an adult, and adults need villages.
We do. As much as people be like, "Oh, I don't need nobody." We're human. We need
Mm.
people.
We need people.
We need people.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
need them.
yeah. It's funny because this episode is like intertwine of all the episodes that we've been having these last few weeks.
Really?
Tradition, mental health, family, relationships, accountability, like all those things we talking about. And it might sound like we just rambling, but I'm telling you, it be it be God putting this together.
Mm-hmm.
Because and I say that like I prepare for my show. I
Mm-hmm.
really prepared for it. But it be God putting it together, even down to the guests that I have. And like God be leading me on who should be the guests.
Can I say this?
Mm-hmm.
When you reached out to me about coming onto the show
Mm-hmm.
and when you gave me the topic, I didn't call you back right away because I was like, my family is so dysfunctional. I don't know what the hell
Mm-hmm.
to talk about when it comes to family traditions.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until you called me again and I was like, okay, Kiana, answer the phone
Mm-hmm.
because you know you want to do this.
Right.
And when I got a little bit more insight
Mm-hmm.
on what you wanted to do, I was like, okay, I can do this because I ain't gonna. My family dysfunctional as hell.
What family isn't?
I know.
What family is it?
I mean, but truly dysfunctional, girl. We even had some dysfunction on Thanksgiving. Okay.
Listen, shit be happening. Life be lifing.
Girl.
You know. I do have a question. By you
Mhm.
being the oldest, and you having siblings that range from one is like 14, Matt.
Matt
Chloe,
is 15.
whew,
Matt is 4.
Chloe is the youngest.
Chloe's the youngest. Chloe's 13.
Mm-hmm.
So they're Irish twins. Chloe is 223
Mm-hmm.
and Matt is 322.
Okay.
So for a month they're like the same
Same
age.
age.
So Chloe is 13, Matt is 14. She'll be 14, he'll be 15.
Okay.
Mhm.
So from 13 to
And India is uh 17, I want to say.
17,
Mm-hmm.
with that being a part of your journey now as far as being sort of like a motherly type sister figure, how is that going?
Um, it's not going all that well,
Okay.
especially with that oldest one, India. It's not going all that well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even really want to touch a whole lot on that. She's just different.
Yeah.
Um, feels like she's grown and
I mean, so she's 17, so we understand
but
that.
I mean just it's just yeah. But Matthew, you know, he I love Matthew.
Mhm.
He's at that age where he's feeling himself. You know,
Mhm.
he's in high school now.
Mhm.
And he just he think he the man. So
Right.
I mean, the stuff that's going on with him, you expect it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Chloe is that's my little baby.
I was about to say that's the baby.
That's my little baby.
Mhm.
Like I love her so much. And with my mom passing, like she needs a lot of guidance.
Mhm.
It's not going bad,
Mhm.
but I do feel like it could go a lot better.
Mhm.
But it's just, me having patience with
Mhm.
them and them being patient with me.
Right.
Because even though my mom has been gone for almost 3 years, it's still fresh for
Yes.
everybody.
Yes.
And what I try to remind them is that I understand that you guys lost your mom, but I lost my mom too.
Mhm.
So we're all dealing with it
Mhm.
in our own ways. So I'm trying to be there for them as much as I can.
Mhm.
But with them being teenagers, it can be hard.
Mhm.
It can be hard, but I ain't giving up on them. I love them babies.
Of course. Of course.
Even though they drive me up a wall.
And it's like you you have a son, and then you have your younger siblings,
Yeah.
and you trying to balance that on out,
Mhm.
because before your son, they were your
Yeah.
responsibility.
Mhm.
um and so I could see how they they are adjusting to, oh, I don't get the same access sometimes as I would have gotten before with my biggest sister.
Definitely because and I don't mean to do it like it's not
Mhm.
on purpose,
Mhm.
but I was so consumed with work.
Mhm.
It was like even after right after my mom died, I remember my boss saying to me, Kiana, why didn't you take time off? And I was like, I can't. I got siblings. I got to make the money. Got to make the money. Got to
Mhm.
make the money. So I have been, and then I got pregnant with my son,
Mhm.
and I had him, and I think I took like 6 weeks off, and then I was right back at work because I was in mommy mode. I was in
Yeah.
grind mode.
Grind mode. Yeah.
So it was, I got to make the money. Got to make the money. Got to make the money, and it's so crazy because I got into an accident at work back in October the 19th.
Mhm.
And I feel like that was God sitting me down
Yeah.
for a period of time so I can actually see what was going on with my siblings and what was going on in our household
Mhm.
or whatever. So I'm glad
Mhm.
because I can be there and I can be more present,
Mhm.
not just for my son, but for them as well.
Mhm.
And for my grandmother. Shout out to my grandmother because
Yes, Granny is definitely doing
she
her
is
thing,
definitely
but
the
always
goat.
has been.
The goat.
Yes.
Okay. Like it just it's allowing me to just see things completely differently
Mhm.
now that I'm home and I'm
Mhm.
just sitting,
Yeah.
not doing nothing, but just being there
Your
and being
your
more
your
present.
actions are different, and
Yeah.
your motion is different.
Yes.
So your impact is being felt a little bit differently.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
It definitely is
Yeah.
because I go downstairs in the kitchen and I don't see the fucking trash sitting in the trash can. That shit is outside. Because
Okay.
I be in there going the fuck off. Why is the trash in here? Why is the dishes in the sink?
Mhm.
Y'all are the only ones in here cooking. Get this shit out of here.
Mhm.
Help my grandmother. Help us so that we can better help you guys.
Mhm.
And also, I feel like we were raised with two different versions of my mother. Like
Yes.
me, Maya, and Monica,
Mhm.
we had the Wendy that was go. She went to work,
Mhm.
pay the bills, took care of her kids,
Mhm.
clean my kitchen,
Mhm.
do X, Y, and Z. They were raised with a version of her that was more
Soft.
soft. You know what I mean?
Cause I didn't know who she was when she would talk to them.
Soft.
I was like,
Girl,
that's
she
not.
done went upside our head.
That's not the one that.
Okay.
Okay, listen.
And that's why. So again, so to go back to when you say how is it going, I am trying to teach them structure.
Yeah.
Because they did not have that with my mom because she was sick. And she couldn't really do a lot. She couldn't go upside their heads like she went upside ours.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm trying to teach them structure. And that's hard, but it gotta be fucking done, man.
It do.
Because if, prime example, one of them would be like, oh, my head hurt. Well, why you ain't go to school? Oh, my head hurt. Okay, I gotta go to school. I gotta go to work, and I might have a cold. My head might hurt. My back might hurt, and I gotta go drive a 40-foot, maybe a 60-foot bus with my back hurting with a cold. If I can do that, you can get up and go to school. You understand what I'm saying? It's all about having some structure because if they don't, like, what kind of adults are they going to be?
Yeah.
You know, growing up.
Yeah.
If they don't know. All right, you got to get up. You got to clean up. All right, you got to get up. You got to wash the dishes. You got to take out the trash. You got to wash your ass. You got to go to school.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
Because if you can't get to school on time, you ain't good to work on time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's hard, but I'm maintaining.
You're maintaining?
I'm hanging in there.
I know that's right. So we're going to end the show like this. First, I want to thank you for coming on because I know grief is different, but it's losing a parent. That level of grief is just it never
goes away.
Yeah,
it never goes away.
A child and a parent, I feel like those two, the grief, it never like subsides.
It doesn't.
It never subsides.
It doesn't.
And I want to thank you for coming on, for being vulnerable.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
Always look. If y'all need me, if y'all like me, I'll come back for you guys. Just tell her. Just tell her.
So thank you for coming on. Thank you for being vulnerable, and thank you for changing the traditions that you grew up in to make it a better life, not just for your son, but for your younger siblings.
Yes.
And I'm not saying better like your mom didn't give.
Yeah,
no. Not like that.
Showing them something different.
Just showing them something different and just giving them something that you uniquely can give. You know. So with that being said, make sure that you love on the ones that you have. Make sure if you're having thoughts of suicide that you reach out to somebody. Make sure if you're feeling depressed, don't go to sleep. Maybe do something that you enjoy doing. I know it might be hard. I know you might be feeling sad. I know you may be grieving someone during this season where it's Christmas and you had a family tradition. But I'm telling you, just go outside, get some sunlight, open the blinds, do something to bring some light into your life. And with that, we out.
We out. Thanks for having me, guys.